The next step is to make the rebate and the molding of the stiles and rails. For this task I have made this sash window plane. It can mold out both the rebate and the molding at the same time. It has also a built-in depth stop here, which means that this plane will stop cutting at the right time. I can use this plane both for making the bars. You can see them fitting in like this, and it cuts exactly half a bar. So I can turn the bar over like this and make a whole bar. And it's essential that the molding ends at exactly the top of the bar or the center of the bar. And the same plane is used to make the stiles and rails like this. Only here the plane will leave a small edge here instead of making it all around like the bar. I have prepared a fixture here that allows me to just lay the stiles in, and it has an end stop there, and I can just take my plane, put it on top, and then start doing the planing motion. There's always an opportunity to tilt the plane on each side, so I have to be careful that the plane is exactly upright. And here you can see the finished result. The molding on one side and the rebate on the other. The molding of the rails follows the same procedure as for the stiles. And I can use the same fixture, just put it in and start the planing. The molding of the bars follows a slightly different approach. In order to make the moldings meet exactly on top and make the top of the molding round and even, it is essential that the width of the bar is true. It needs to be at the exact dimension in order to make all the other things fit. For this purpose I have made a sticking board, which intention is to, in the first lane here, we can make sure that the dimensions will be exact, and the next ones it's where we make the actual molding. So I'll do the dimensioning first, and for that I just use my long jointer plane. Like this. I'm going to turn it over so it will be smooth and even on both sides. And this sticking board has a depth stop, so when I have the right dimension, then the plane will not cut anymore, like this. And now I do the same as I did with the rails and stile. I can just start planning on half of the bar. And this small wedge in the end here secures the piece so it will not move while I do the planning. Now we have made 1/2 bar, and now the will be quite difficult if I put this molded side down. It will not stay on the sticking board. That's why I have made another lane here which has the opposite molding on one side, so that the bar will fit exactly, and then I have a little nail here to stop it from sliding forwards, and then I am ready to do some passes on the other side. Now the plane stopped, it didn't cut anymore, so let's see if the bar is finished, and I think it is, like this. Directly after making the molding and the rebate, I can cut the mitre and the shoulder on the opposite side of the rebate for the tenon. I can also, using this special mitre iron, make the mitres for the crossbars. Having cut both the mitres and done the shoulder cut part, these two pieces, the stile here and the rail, should hopefully fit nicely together. I finish off the stiles by cutting the mitres for the crossbars. And I have this specially designed mitre iron. It has a point here at the center, and it has two legs here that can be support on the side of the stile. To avoid a tear out in the mortises, I have put in a little piece of scrap wood to avoid the tear out in the bottom here. Now I have a center mark in which I can place the center of the mitre iron. Having completed the molding of the crossbars, I now need to find the length. I need to cut the length on the side that faces outwards, and then I have to find the length and miter both ends that faces inwards. And this outside length should be exactly the same as the length on the rail, so I can use the rail as a template to be sure that I have the exact length. Again, I use my spring divider to set the length, and I can from this work from the center of the crossbar. So I just assume what the center is, approximately here, and then I get one mark there and one there. And I now use my scribe to make a line instead of just a point from the dividers. Like this. I can now cut the crossbar at length following the mark. For such a short cut, I only use my eye to ensure that the cut will be straight and perpendicular. Like this. Now I just have to remove the waste. Like this. Having cut the length on the outside, I can now use this jig, which has a built-in stop in it. I can use this to make the miter on the molded side. If everything is done correctly, then the cross that I have cut should have its center exactly in the center of the bar. Now I just have to remove all the waste here, and I will be left with a tenon that goes into the stile. Removing the waste, I can use the same jig to place the crossbar in, like this, and just use my chisel to remove the waste. And now I have to be careful so my chisel won't slip. If it slips, it might cut into the bar that I want to use. Now it's important that I make sure that the tenon, its surface, is even and without any big obstacles in it, so it will fit into the style nicely. Now if I have worked with high enough precision, then this should fit quite nicely into the mitre.